So tonight we're going to talk about how to develop resilience in the rotator cuff so that it gets stronger than it was before you got injured. The reason that we go beyond where you were when you got injured is because when you get injured, you're clearly not in a very good spot, right? Because it allowed you to get injured. So in order to actually fix the problem, we need to take you 2 steps beyond at least where you were when you got injured. So I'm Dr. Sarah Sewall of Resilience RX, and tonight we are talking about how to build rotator cuff strength. So we are going to go over 3 exercises, all with bands, but I'm going to link a blog post to this that gives other options for those of you who don't have bands, who want to do some rotator cuff strengthening at home. So the 3 exercises with the bands are, the first one is a standing Y. And I will note that you can do any of these exercises with 1 band or 2 bands at the same time. It depends on your setup and it depends what you have access to at home. So if you're to do this with 2 bands, you're going to get some tension in the bands, and then you're going to pull your arms back into a Y. So they start right in front of you, pull back into a Y. You want enough tension on the bands so that it's difficult when you get to end range, but not so difficult that you can't get there. So this would be too much tension. If I can get to here, not too much tension. You also want an adequate amount of tension. If you're just moving through and it's fairly easy and you can do 15, 20 reps, no problem, you need a stronger band, or you need to step further away from your anchor point because you need more resistance on there than that. So that's a standing Y. The next one we are going to do is called a Scapular Angel. So your scapula is another name for your shoulder blade, and it's called an angel because you're basically doing a snow angel. It's just you're doing it with your shoulder blade. So again, start in front of you, pull your arms back to your sides, palms facing forwards, thumbs out to the side, and then you're gonna make an angel, just like that. So you can do this with 2 bands. I can alternate, or I could change which band I'm using where, and I can do it here, like this. It just gives a little bit of a different pull. It works a little bit of a different angle of that muscle, so it uses a different part of it. The last one we're gonna do, I call it a face pull with an overhead press, because that's essentially what you're doing. So this one you typically need to stand further away. You start by rowing, so your arm is parallel to the floor. You then rotate, and you then press overhead. So you pull your hand to your face and face pull, very creative, I know. Rotate, hand overhead. The top point here should be the hardest part of that movement, and you should have to really fight to keep that arm back so it doesn't come down. So those are 3 different exercises that help you develop resilience or strength in your rotator cuff. And the reason why we want to get you stronger than when you were before you got injured is because a lot of physical therapy is really good at just fixing the problem. It doesn't solve the original cause of the problem, and that's the reason why stuff like rotator cuff keeps coming back. If you don't make the structure stronger than it was before you originally got injured, odds are you're going to have a reoccurring problem on your hands. So make sure, if you do have rotator cuff issues and you're struggling with some discomfort and you're almost back to where you want to be, make sure you spend a little bit of extra time actually strengthening those muscles beyond when you have pain. That's going to be really important for the long term